Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the modifications we're going to do to the Ram Rebel. Just kind of give you a basic build overview. I need something that I can drive out long distance, that's fairly comfortable to drive on the road, that I can take out on the dirt roads, fire roads, up in the mountains and do some camping with my boys. I've had a few modifications I've been wanting to do for a minute. Since I've been towing the trailer, I've been wanting to put airbags, just some helper spring airbags, these Airlift 1000 HDs on the truck, just to help with the leveling out the ride when we're towing. So even when you're not overloaded on payload, it still sags the springs, and I just don't like that look and the way it affects the, I guess, handling or the on-road characteristics of the Ram. So I feel like this is going to help a little bit with that. Those bags aren't going to help you haul any more weight, but they will help with the just the stance of the truck and the on-road handling characteristics. So that's what that's going to be for. I'm going to put some lighting, lastvet.com. They offered to provide some of the lighting for the truck. They sent me their 32-inch light bar. So I got a 32-inch light bar from them and some 3-inch pod lights. So I'm going to try those out for the hood. So those will be mounted on the hood. Just for a little bit more capability off-road. If I'm going to be out on dirt roads at night, you know, I can light up the campground if I'm setting up, stuff like that. So to mount the pod lights, I picked up the Zroadz brackets. I'll try to put a link in the description for every item. For the light bar, I'm going to use the Sleekster Randy Ellis design light bar. The reason I chose this is because I didn't want to lose my tow hooks in the front, and this bar doesn't take away your tow hooks, so you still get to keep your tow hooks and you get a place to mount your light bar. So seems like it's a pretty good product. It's well built. And then for wiring up in my switches, I went with the Trigger wireless control system. So this is the 6-sheeter. It's got 6 spots. Comes with the Bluetooth controller, so the switches go in the cab. You don't have to drill, you don't have to put anything. I know wiring comes from the engine compartment to the cab, so all the wiring happens in the engine compartment, which is something I like. I think I'm gonna like anyways. I don't know, we'll try it out. But it has switches that are backlit. You can also use your phone with an app to switch everything on and off, so I kind of like those options and capability. That's what I'm gonna do on that. So that's just a quick overview of what I'm gonna do to the Ram to make it a little more camping capable, a little bit more towing capable, and by capable I mean, you know, level while towing. So for the future, I'm probably going to put 35-inch tires, probably rock sliders, depending on what we get into off-road here. I'm going to want some rock sliders. I haven't looked into bigger skid plates yet. I don't plan on doing anything extreme off-road. I just plan on doing mostly trails to get to campgrounds. I'm not done testing out the Jeep yet. I'm running out of trails in Sand Hollow, but I plan on still hitting Moab. I still want to go on the Rubicon Trail. There's trails I want to do still with the Jeep. I still want to hit Colorado, some of Arizona and Nevada, so in the form that it's in. So I'm thinking I'm not going to modify that yet, but don't hold me to that because I can always change my mind. I do that a lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on getting this stuff installed and seeing how it goes. We're going to be messing with this Randy Ellis Designs Sleekster frame mounted light bar. So it comes with instructions. They're fairly simple. Basically just gives you what the supplied stuff is. It's not complicated. There's 2 bolts that hold your tow hooks in. You're going to take the tow hooks down, then you're going to sandwich one of these brackets on passenger side and driver side. I'm going to make sure you put the one on the right side. They only fit one way, so that's not a problem. To mount those up under your tow hooks, and then those are going to mount to your bar with the supplied hardware that comes with it. So pretty simple and straightforward, not very complicated at all, so shouldn't take very long. I'll show you where the bolts are underneath. So under here you're going to have 2 bolts. See if I can get some light for you. So this is your tow hook underneath. So this is the tow hook out here that goes to the front. You'll see under here
You got 2 bolts right here. They got to come out. That'll drop your tow hook down, and then you put your brackets up here in between the frame and the tow hook. And that's the same way for over here on this side. So that's pretty simple. That'll leave you a mounting point that's out here, and the bar will come in to mount to those bolts right there where you put the hardware into the bolt. So it's not super complicated. It's fairly easy. That's a pretty simple mounting procedure. That shouldn't take me too long. And then I'm gonna start working with our lost fit light bar. We're gonna see how that looks. Like I said, that's like a medium grade, middle expensive. I'm not really sure. They look pretty high quality, and the packaging is pretty nice. So I don't know anything. Let's just make a disclaimer here. I don't know anything about lights. I've put a little bit of fog lights on one of my trucks, and that was about it. Some aftermarket stuff. So mostly I don't mess with lights. I haven't had the need for them. So I haven't really done anything besides maybe swap some LEDs in the headlights. And that's about it. So as far as mounting light bars and all these switches and stuff, I mean, it's not that complicated, but it's pretty new to me. So I just haven't ever had the need until now. So and Last Fit was kind enough to reach out and see if I wanted to do a test and review of their products. So I'm just gonna give my honest opinion on how they fit and look and the functionality. So let's I'll get into this and get the light bar mounted up, and then I'll go over how to get those Zroadz brackets for the hood lights, for the ditch lights, mounted up next. Alright, so each tow hook has 2 bolts. The big bolt has a retainer clip in there, so you're gonna need something like a hammer, maybe some vice grips or an end wrench or something to beat on. It's just a little kind of like a stainless steel clip or a galvanized clip, whatever. So I'll show you how this works. Because once you loosen this bolt, so this bolt right here, once you loosen it, it won't come out. So the way you get that out is by beating it out with a hammer. So you can leave this other bolt in for a little bit, which will probably help you so your bracket's not coming down on you. And then you just grab your vice grips and hook them around your bolt here. Let's get this up a little higher so it's out of our way. And then we're just gonna tap it out. So alright, so that's going to pull your bolt out, and then you have this retainer clip on here that just is junk now, so we're just going to junk that, and that's the only way to get that off. So yeah, if you're working on your ram and you get to this part with the bolt and you can't get it off, that's your only solution there, is to just knock it off. And then we can lower this bracket and we can sandwich our other bracket in here. So I'm gonna loosen this bolt right here. That gets our tow hook down. We're gonna sandwich our bracket up here, back up in here, and reinsert our big bolt through the whole thing, basically. So trying to make this as awkward as possible. And all that's left is to line up your other bolt with both the bracket hole and the hole up there, and tighten it up. And now you have your mounting brackets mounted. All you need to do is tighten them up. So that looks like it has some play in it. I'm probably not going to snug them all the way up. I'm probably just going to tighten them enough to nice and snug, and then when I get the bar on there, I'll get to tighten it even more. So I'm just gonna snug it up, leave myself some play where I can remove both brackets still. That'll work. So kind of snug, but not. I'm gonna do the same thing on the passenger side. All right, so I was able to get, after I got the brackets installed, I was able to just slide this bar in pretty close, and it stays pretty good in the holes in the bumper. So if we look under here, it's pretty much lining up. I mean, I think I'm gonna be able to get the bolts started and see what I can do here by myself before I tighten everything down, and see if I need any help. Actually, I might be able to just get it myself. Take a bolt, a washer, 2 washers probably for each 4 bolts. Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna keep the nuts on the inside here, so let's just see if I can get one started. Alright, so I should be able to get this started. And the second one should be just as easy. And these are nylock, or they're like an oblong lock nut. So they do only go on one way. I'm gonna work on the other side now. See if I can get it lined up just as easy. That was pretty easy. Then we'll just tighten everything down. Alright, so on this side, which is the passenger side, the bar goes on the inside of the bracket, it looks like. On the driver's side, the bar goes on the outside of the bracket, and that's the way it seems to fit the best. I'm going to snug everything up and see and make sure that looks right, but so far it looks pretty good. The bar fits pretty good. Doesn't look like it's excessively out anywhere, so it's kind of, I'm just gonna see. Actually looks snug here, so try that out. Alright, so I got everything pretty much snugged up, or it's all the way snugged up. This bar fits really well, so it's right up next to the bumper but not touching on both sides. I just kind of worked it in so that it was nice and tight, but not too far touching, and it's very sturdy. I mean, frame mounted to the body bracket, so where the body mounts through the frame, so that's a pretty sturdy mount. So pretty happy with that. We'll see how the light bar looks when we get there. Some light here, and we're gonna move on to the Z brackets, which I'm gonna have to pop the hood for. So open the hood up here. So the Z brackets go in between these 2 bolts right here. So you're gonna have to loosen those 2 bolts up, but you need to make sure that you don't move your bracket when you're So you need to mark your bracket. Make sure you don't move your bracket. I'm not too worried about how that's gonna look, so I'm just gonna mark it with some Sharpie so that I make sure I get it back in the right place. That way your hood doesn't misalign. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Looks like my engine compartment needs to be cleaned. Oh, it's a little embarrassing. Anyways, I just came home for the day and thought I would take care of this installation. So I'm gonna mark it right there. And I'm gonna mark it right there. So I can make sure that I get it. Oops. Line back up correctly when time comes. If anything shifts on me, hopefully nothing shifts. We're gonna do this one side at a time. Try not to get too crazy on it. So I'm just gonna make us some little marks here. See, make sure it stays right. So I'm gonna get a wrench, I'm gonna loosen those up, and then I'll show you what the brackets look like when they get mounted in. All right, so definitely don't skip the step where you mark your brackets, and mark the bracket on the inside right here, because this bracket covers up that outside, and I marked this side on that outside, so it took me a minute to get it right, but it is right. This side is on too, which just goes underneath. And then when you close your hood, everything's good. So it just barely sits up there, so that's pretty nice. Hood closes. Nice. So everything still looks good. So there you go. Make sure you're careful with the way you mark those brackets, because they got to be in there right. So, and mark them on the right side where you're not going to cover up the marks. So those are the Zroadz Zroadz Dynamite LED mounting solution brackets, and they come with pretty good instructions. I mean, it tells you to mark everything, tells you how to do it. So they're nice color instructions. Works pretty good. All right, moving on to the next thing, which is going to be our trigger 6-shooter. So, trigger wireless control system 6-shooter. So this comes with stickers for naming your switches. Comes with the this is a Bluetooth switch panel. So this doesn't need any wiring; it just needs power. Shouldn't need any wiring. No, I think it's batteries. Those are magnets. I have to get the instructions out, but yeah, this has a switch panel that it comes with. You turn on your lights. You don't have to use that. You can use the LED panel. Comes with the trigger control module. It comes with a 6. This one, they have a 4 and a 6. It comes with 6 places to mount stuff up, and then it comes with your fuse, inline fuse, your power, your ground, and your accessory. So constant power, constant power, ground, and then your accessory. I'm told, I think this will draw power if you hook it up to constant power, so it will drain your battery over time. So you want to hang that up, and you just need to find a place to mount this, which is usually on the fuse panel. And then they come with individual wiring to run from your trigger to your accessory. So this will help you wire up everything. So when the time comes, but we don't have any accessories to wire up yet. So I'm going to reopen the hood here. And we're going to find a place to mount our 6-shooter, which is probably going to be right by the. You're going to want to mount it close to the battery. I'm thinking probably right here on this fuse panel. All right, so here's where we're at. So I was able to get the trigger mounted up here on this cover. It's secure on there. I need one more little self tapper for this side. to fully secure it down, but it's not going anywhere. I got it wired up to the power. I used constant power for the switch, and then I mounted it to a ground for the body ground, and we have power. So that is working. Next, what I need to do is mount the lights. So we could take a look at the lights and bind the switch and all that stuff for the thing. But I'm out of time for today, so let's take a look. We can see that the light bar is on for the front, for the mount, nice and secure, and lights are on. Our mounts for the pod lights are on, so it's just a matter of running everything and wiring it up. And all that stuff was pretty easy, so we're all set up to wire up our light bars and get it all done. So hopefully, I don't know if that was helpful or not. That stuff was pretty simple, so a couple bolts here and there, nothing crazy. Only thing that was tough was that long bolt for the tow hooks, which you just had to beat that out of there, and it went back in all nice and perfect. So far so good. So in the next video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the last fit LED light bar and also the 3-inch pod lights. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you out there on the trail. Bye.